Greetings. I'm Eric Messias. I'm a psychiatrist. I practice in the United States. And in this series on positive psychotherapy around the world, we are trying to understand how people are adapting to this new reality and what they have learned as therapists that can help people in other places. Hamid, I have here with me my friend Hamid Peseschkian from Germany, who is a psychiatrist and psychotherapist and an expert in positive psychotherapy. Hamid, it's good to see you again.
Thank you very much. So you said already everything. Yeah, it's really very nice really to see you again and to start this series on positive mental health around the globe, because that's something very interesting. I think this we can offer. And today our special guest is Miss Gabriela Hum. She's from Romania. She's a psychologist and psychotherapist, supervisor, and also the president of the Romanian Association of Positive Psychotherapy. So, Gab, it's really a pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you very much for inviting me here with you.
So today we have United States, Germany, and Romania. In a nice interview.
Yes.
So, Gabi, maybe you could say a few words. With this pandemic, as we say, the virus is the same everywhere, but the situation is different. Yeah. So, how is it now for you from your professional point of view? How is the situation now in Romania? How are the Romanians dealing with that? How is the situation?
I could say that we were very lucky with the way our government took care about the situation. We are in lockdown since 15th of March already. So there were 2 months of staying at home and working from home. It's going to be ending 15th of May, and we still don't know which are going to be the measurements after this moment. But in this moment, the impression is that we were very disciplined, following the instructions, trying to keep us safe. If you look at the numbers, we have around 800 or 900 deaths and 15,000 people with infected, and the population of 19 million people, I think, is a good number. The difficulties are with children at home, working from home, finding the possibility to have a laptop or a phone or a tablet working from home. But almost all the people who are in this situation around us, they said that it is doable, and I'm quite curious who is going to be out after 15th of May. Which will be the next step.
How are the accommodations now for people that do mental health in Romania? How are they adapting to this new way of doing things?
There are different situations. The hospitals are open. The emergency from psychiatry is open, and they take also people with COVID. Almost all the offices, the private offices, are closed, and we work from home on online or by phone. Talking about psychotherapy, my impression is that the patients are more open and more adaptive, let's say, to the relationship online, to the relation online. I had several experiences when my clients, when we talk about how deep we went with our discussion, they said, yeah, because I'm not so ashamed like when we are face to face. Or they said, yeah, this screen somehow I feel that protect me. Or yeah, but almost all of them are happy that there is a possibility to work with them, and also the openness is really, really high.
And Gabi, besides the general things which I think are in most countries now, anxiety, fear, depression, and so on, are there some specific things of maybe connected, let's say, to the Romanian culture? I mean, you are also a multicultural country then. I don't know, maybe difference between individualistic people and collectivistic people, or are there some specific things, or are they, as you mentioned, really more disciplined and just obey the rules of the government?
I think we are in a lucky situation because before 89 we were a communist country. Now we are a democratic country since almost 40 years. And this mixture between collectivistic culture and individualistic culture is a resource for us in this moment. I think we have the same situation like in Europe. Anxiety is very high. I would not say that the clinical level is very high, but the subclinical level is very high. We deal a lot with people with subclinical symptoms, and not so many depression during this time. That's really curious. Not so many depression. Maybe facing death or possibility of that shake us a little bit and push us to move.
Yes. So in your practice as a psychotherapist, what are some things you have learned that would be helpful for people to know or to practice during these times?
I would say that one thing I learned is that being in the same situation with my client brings something very important in our relationship. Mm-hmm. The way I can understand their situation, because I am also in the same situation, is really, really important. And also the trust they have in relationship, it increased very much because of this situation.
Yeah, that's, if I may say, that's this collectivistic aspect. Everybody is really in the same situation.
In the same.
Yeah. And so nobody, even if you're king or you are a servant, everybody suffers the same, more or less the same. So I think this is something which, because sometimes it's just the patients have something, maybe I have not experienced that, but now I experience the same thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's like you said, Hamid, in your presentation, we are in the same boat, in the same storm, but not in the same boat. Yeah, the boat we have to shape and to organize.
But I mean, you're now a positive psychotherapist, so so someone who works, let's say, for positive mental health. Are there specific things you, I don't know, you discuss with the clients, or something you want to share? I don't know, special techniques you have found very useful. So in general, positive psychotherapy has this very positive outlook, which of course nowadays is not so easy. But maybe you could share something about this.
Yeah.
And I know also you are a psychodrama therapist, and maybe that's
actually I finished my self-discovery in psychodrama. I'm not a psychodramatist, but I know the tools from psychodrama and I use them. It's a little bit difficult to use psychodrama online. Not impossible. If you use your creative mind, you can do it. The question you asked me, I think you know the answer. The most important and the most powerful tool we have in positive psychotherapy, and is very useful in this moment, is the balance model. And it is unbelievable how people react when you ask them to compare their life before coronavirus and their life now, and to see how they reprioritize their life, and how this coronavirus pushed them to reorganize their energy and their time. So this tool is really, really important, and it is always a starting point for our sessions in the beginning of the therapy. This is the starting point.
Ask her, what are the areas people are putting now? Say, what has more priority than before? Is now the family more important, or
all the other areas which were not so important before? Body, people take care about them better than before, or more time than before, or put energy more time than before there. relationship. Now they realize how important is to stay in connection with the others. Maybe this the fourth area with future is a little bit not neglected by, but we are so, everything is so unpredictable in this moment, so it's difficult to make plans, or you don't have an horizon till when is going to be lockdown or what is going to happen after it. But the fourth area has also the spirituality, and for people over 50, 60 years, that part is also very important. Very
It's
important.
so interesting, because I think what you're showing us is that in a way a crisis serves as a moment to rebalance things that are out of balance. So because what I see in the United States is, because our culture tends to be a little bit more individualistic, people are talking about how much more time they're spending with their families, and how much this is actually pushing them more to the relationship side that tends to be neglected. Mm-hmm. In our culture in America, where the values are more for body and work. So we're pushing more on the relationship side. So there is some rebalancing happening around what areas we have neglected, because the crisis pushes all the areas to the forefront.
Exactly. This is the crisis as an opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
And other people in general, I mean, of course, it's always difficult to generalize something, but are they more, let's say, optimistic, hopeful, or very depressed, and or sometimes even aggressive? Yeah. How? I mean, this also changes, of course. Now, as you say, for you next week will be very important. Germany started last week, and now things are coming out. Yeah. Protests and this and that. America also has these things. So how is it for someone who does know the Romanian culture? How is it? Are they more quiet people, or getting aggressive, or how can you imagine that?
There are groups or voices who said that this is a manipulation, nothing will happen if we go out, but there are only voices. The general feeling is that we realize how important it is to stay at home. There were two important moments. One moment was the Catholic Easter Eve, and the second was the Orthodox Easter Eve. They were one week after the other. And at that moment, everybody was afraid that they will open the doors of the houses to go to the church. And they did it. In the first step, they said, you are allowed to go to the church. And it was a really big fight against this decision. And for the first time in my life in Romania, I had the impression that our voice was listened. Mm-hmm. And in 2 days, the government said, no, you are not allowed to go to the church. Because everybody, or a lot of people said, come on, we stay at home 1.5 months, and now you open the doors and let us go 100,000 people to the church. And the decision was that the priest came house by house or family by family with the light and the bread and the wine to celebrate Easter Eve. And it was really impressive, really impressive.
That is very interesting. Thank you for sharing your experience with us today. I think people can learn from your experience, not only about, again, what we share as our common humanity, all these things we have in common, but our different cultures and the different challenges we have as peoples, or under the same, as Hamid said, in the same storm, in all these different boats.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing your experience with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gabi. Thank you.